Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to the Return and Remember podcast. I am so freaking excited. The other day I was meditating in my beautiful meditation room. Fucking love that. I was sitting there and I was meditating and I was like, spirit guides, you guys know I'm really fucking woo-woo and today is going to get woo-woo as fuck. So buckle in, baby, because I'm fucking keen to deliver the good goods, the yummy yummies in the tummy tummies today. It's going to be so much fucking fun and I'm so keen for this. So I actually sat in meditation, like I mentioned, and I said, what's a good podcast? Like, what do the beautiful, sexy souls want to hear? And then it was like, boing. And I was like, oh my fucking gosh. So I put it out on my Instagram, but I made a video on TikTok. And if you guys go on TikTok, TikTok is rogue. It is so fucking cool. It's like a platform that I'm really, really getting into. So if you guys want to follow me on TikTok, it's actually Claudia Compton, 2 N's at the end of Compton. I accidentally tagged the wrong version, the wrong Claudia Compton in the show notes a little while back. And I was like, my spirit guides told me that, check your show notes. I'm like, okay. And then I checked it and it was the wrong Claudia Compton. And I was like, well, we got to go. Sorry, Claudia, but that's the wrong me, Del. So I've now tagged myself, the right Claudia Compton, in the show notes. I do so much like different content on TikTok. And it's so much more engaging over there because that's the actual platform. It's around creating community and creating engagement. It's just the platform over there is so different to Instagram from my personal experience. So I'm really excited to learn more about TikTok. I've just invested into my TikTok mentor again. I'm so keen for it. So Romany, if you're listening, love you. It's fucking wild over there. And my guides were like, do a video about this on TikTok and see what engagement you get. And I was like, perfect. So I'm going to get my phone out because it's like a question and answer today. I was like, how can I have more fun on the podcast, deliver more value of things that you guys actually want to fucking hear from the tools, resources, and experiences that I've had? Like, what do you actually want to hear, right? So today we are learning more about asking a psychic medium. I'm going to come up with a slogan. Let me feel into a slogan. Ask the psychic. And it's going to be part 1 because I want to make 2 parts because I feel like I can go down so many fucking rabbit holes. So I'm going to answer as many questions as I can and then I'm going to create a part 2 which will be next week. So ask the psychic. Ask the psychic medium. Ask the psychic medium, part 1. Your question's answered. Haha, let's go. So I just put a video up. It's one of my most recents, and it's like your chance to ask a psychic medium anything. And I actually got some really cool fucking comments. I put it out there and I was like, I don't know if I'm actually going to get many comments, but I wanted to see what would happen. So one of the first ones is from Bronte. A medium I seen 8 years ago is popping in my dreams and I've had an urge for someone trying to contact me. Oh, okay, cool. So we're going to jump straight in. I didn't preface this. So I'm going to look at the questions from this TikTok video. If you are listening to this and you're like, fuck, I have some questions for a psychic medium, please message me either on Instagram or TikTok. Comment on one of my most recent posts and I will get that listed for you because I'd fucking love to answer it but before I was psychic, I had so many questions. I was like, what about this? What do you see here? And how is this? And da-da-da-da-da. I had so many questions, guys, and I really want to like answer them today now that I've tapped into these powers, which we all have, okay? They're all innately gifted to ourselves within ourselves right now. It's up to you whether you actually want to tap into that. And just for a quick pre-frame before I actually go into it, just so then you know my story and background, I was never quote unquote psychic, okay? I can still see spirits, but I can't see like proper figures yet. So my clairvoyance, which is the view, like the seeing, is still working on. I was actually talking to my partner last night, Anthony, and I was like, babe, I think I'm actually nervous about seeing spirits because I had a few experiences when I was younger and I've been working on that with my mentor. So I'm excited to be able to see more. But other than that, like I'm fucking bang on with the other clairs. Like I can feel it, I can sense it, I can taste things. Like if I do a psychic reading for someone, I can taste cigarette. I'm like, okay, cool. I've got an older man here. His tasting, like I can taste some cigarettes, I can hear things, and I can smell stuff. It's really, really interesting because it's like, it's not actually there. It's all to do with like the intuition, and the medium partship of psychic medium is where you connect into the people that have passed over, into the essence of those people. Their souls are infinite and eternal. So I was never like this, guys. I want you to know I was not always quote unquote psychic. I was super oblivious to this world. I didn't actually believe in it, if I'm being completely honest. Like I was like, yeah, that's cool, but like you can't see it, so how am I meant to believe it? And it's really interesting when people say that to me. I'm like, well, you don't see electricity. You just turn on the light bulb and you know it's going to light up if it's connected to power, right? And they go, yeah. I'm like, that's what it's like to just trust your intuition. That's all it's like. Just trusting the knowing. And this has come through like releasing a lot of like of the past emotions around like shame, guilt, anger, hurt, sadness, not good enough, not worthy. I've released a lot of that stuff in the past through my like the processes that I do, the trainings, the investments that I've done, et cetera, et cetera. So I would call myself quote unquote a clear channel. What that means is I can clearly differentiate whether that's my ego or my intuition, or that's a past program, or that's my future self, or if that's a made up voice, or if that's someone coming to talk to me again. We could go down so many fucking rabbit holes, so I'm just going to be aware of what I'm saying. And the reason why I want to share this is because I actually didn't always believe in this stuff. Like I heard about, psychics, and I was like, oh, that's really cool for them, but I could never do that. Like I genuinely wanted to be psychic, but I didn't want to say that. And 2, I didn't know how to. And 3, I didn't think that I could be it because I thought you had to be psychic from birth. Okay. That is some people's journey, and it's not a lot of people's journey. So I really want to shed a light on like this time, like 2 years ago, I was not psychic, guys. Like I wasn't showing up as a psychic in the world. And again, that is a label. Okay. So psychic is a label. I believe that we're all psychic. Okay, so it's up to you whether you want to tap into that, because I believe that we're all quote unquote psychic, intuitive. We all have that gut feeling, that gut knowing. It's just up to you whether you want to tap into that or not. And for me, my soul really wanted to fucking tap into it. So that is my journey in a nutshell. I wasn't always tuned in like this. Okay, I wasn't always tapped in. I was always tapped in, but unknowingly tapped in. Okay, now I know that I'm tapped in. It's a bit of a mind fuck, but if you do have any questions around that, or you think you are on the precipice or the peak of potentially going through and breaking through, I'm actually going to be running my psychic development course again, which ends at the end of May. So I'm going to open that up in the second week of June. So more details will be coming out for that. I'm just really loving helping people tap into their psychic abilities, into their intuitive self, because you might not know, but my life has dramatically changed from being this tuned into my own vibration, my own self, knowing myself at a deeper core essence, and being able to really just tune into like who I am, what I'm here to do, how I'm here to help. And the psychic abilities allows me to be more tuned into that. I'm able to be more connected to the true essence of me. That is literally how I describe being psychic. So that is why I have so much fun. And I love it when people come into the containers and they're like, fuck yeah, I want to do this. I want to become psychic. And I'm like, babe girl, you're already psychic. It's about releasing and shedding, returning and remembering, your magic within, because it's all there. Okay. So let's jump into some questions. I want to do 2 rounds, 2 parts of this. So beautiful Bronte, I will rephrase the question because I did intro my full story. So then you guys get a bit of a awareness piece as well. I just also seen this as a project. I want to go down a little tangent right now. If you are in a space right now where you're feeling lost, confused, sad, no direction, I want you to view things as a project. What is the purpose of this? The purpose of viewing things as a project indicates and shows that you are going to show up more consistently and chip away at it as a process and project. So when I was at the end of 2022, one of my mentors said, go vegan, I went vegan, cleared out my channel. That's a whole nother kettle of fish. We can open that up another day if you want to learn more about that. Please message me. That's just my belief. And I did all these different lifestyle changes. I started meditating more, connecting working with my spirit guides. Bing, bada, boom. I did my first ever group program, Butterfly Effect. I love it. If you're listening, Queens, I love you. My first ever group program at the beginning of last year. And that's where like all my quote unquote psychic abilities came on. Like, guys, I was doing 3 hours of mediumship. Like, I was like, oh, who's got a sore throat? Cool, this message is for you. I've got someone's granddad saying it's for you. Da-da. Like, it was wild. And it just like sort of came out of nowhere. So fucking cool. So that's like more gauge of like what's actually happened. And then I actually had a lot of resistance about being psychic because I knew a lot of people didn't know that I was into this stuff. And I had a lot of like shame, nervousness, fear of judgment come up for resolution. So I'm really fortunate that I've been able to move that and actually show up in the world as this, in this beautiful space and sharing this beautiful magic, because it's clearly needed in the world as well. That's what I'm seeing. It's like everyone's desiring to feel more connected into themselves rather than just being mindful, doing meditations, breath work, etc. This is the new layer. It's the new layer on top of what you're most likely desiring. That's why you're here listening. So I'm going to get into it. So Bronte said, a medium I had seen about 8 years ago is popping into my dreams, and I have had an urge that someone is trying to contact me. Okay, perfect. Thank you, my darling. Thank you for writing in. I'm so excited. So what is coming through right now, and I'm going to let you guys know, I'm going to completely channel this. And by channel it, I'm going to completely open my spirit guides. My intuition is going to psychically come on. Okay, cool. So if you are watching the video, my eyes will flicker. I might stare off into the distance, and I probably might not look like I'm here. I'm here. I'm just getting like downloads. And if you've done a psychic reading with me before, you know that's the drill. I'm just like, I am here, but I'm looking around the room because they will show me different pictures. Okay, so what I'm getting, babe, is like if you have the desire and the urge and the to get someone to reach out to someone, I would definitely say follow that nudge. People usually come into your dreams because there is some essence of them or some energetic tie that is still connected to you, to them, that they're trying to come through to you in the dream form. So you'll see this pop up around Mercury retrograde with all the different X's and things like that that will come up through dreams. It's actually quite normal. It's because there's still like an energetic tie, or they're wanting to talk to you energetically or unconsciously, and that's where the energetic ties come through. So something that I also found out that was really, really cool is that so spirit guides can talk to each other, and then that's how you get messages. So for example, when my partner and I were not together, I could feel all this sadness, and my spirit guides were like, Anthony. And I was like, that's so weird. And then I was like, oh, okay, Anthony's spirit guides are here. I can feel sadness. Okay, cool. Thank you for the message. I'm going to pass you on. So I actually didn't know, but people's spirit guides could actually talk to you. So if you're really tuned in, beautiful Bronte, it's most likely that you're tuning into someone else's spirit guides, especially if they're coming through to you. So that could be a potentiality. I would definitely say if someone's trying to contact you, if you've had any people that have passed over, like passed over loved ones or any significant people in your life, they are most likely trying to reach out to you. I would sit up after your dreams, write out as much as you can remember, because going through dreams is like a really incredible gateway. And guys, I'm only just scratching the surface of this beautiful like dream gateway experience, because I have some hectic dreams. Like sometimes I can remember it, like it's super vivid, and sometimes I can't. But what you can do to actually allow yourself to remember the dreams and to get more information that most likely, that is being communicated to you unconsciously and energetically through your spirit guides, past over loved ones, etc., through your higher self as well, will come through your dreams. So what you can do, babe, is you can sit up and tune in and put your hand on your heart. If you want to do that, you don't have to. You can sit there with your journal and be like, what did that dream mean to me? Because usually 9 times out of 10, I would say almost 10 times out of 10, the dreams is signifying something to you that, one, you might not be listening to in real life, or two, it might not be ready to be shown to you in real life, that the dreams can actually what am I trying to say? That the dreams can actually show you what you're potentially missing in waking consciousness. So that's why the dreams are so important, because they're actually connecting you to people, places, things, experiences through your dreams. So the stronger you get and the more you ask, what does that mean to me? Because, everyone has their own definition of things. Everyone has their own encyclopedia. Everyone has their own dictionary. But it's actually up to you what you define as words or experiences or people or places, because it might not be that X, it might not be that specific person, but it could be the essence or the energy of that specific experience that could be indicating through your dreams that is what the message is being conveyed. So If the medium specifically is coming up into your mind, I would potentially reach out and see if there's something that she has for you, or there's something that she would be maybe energetically calling to you through, because that's what I know for sure. Like when you do this kind of work, energetically, especially if you're a medium as well, like this lady is a medium, energetically, you're actually able to call things through faster because you're in that energy and in that space. Yeah, okay, cool. Is there anything coming else through? No, but trust yourself, Bronte. That's all I'm getting, babe. Like, I'm fully just getting trust yourself, because the person that you think is trying to contact you is most likely contacting you. And it's up to you whether you want to, acknowledge that. But I would go back to the psychic medium if this specific, if that makes sense for you. Okay. I'm going to go through some questions. So, what do they, Corby, thank you. Oh, also, let me know how that goes, Bronte. Comment on the reel, on the video that you said, or sent me through an Instagram DM. Let me know if there's anything I can like expand on for you. And we can go through that, because I feel like that would be juicy to go deep into. Because 9 times out of 10, guys, if you're having a dream about someone, they could energetically be trying to contact you on purpose or by accident through just thoughts, feelings, emotions, etc., etc. So there's a lot of different things that you can actually learn about through the energetic realm, especially in like dream time. It's a whole nother fucking kettle of fish. And again, I'm not fully like embodied in that because I haven't actually gone too deep in it, though that's what I know for sure. Okay. So, beautiful Corby said, what do they look like? Like normal people, or like what TV spirits as? Can you turn it off? And do you ever just talk to them when you're bored? I seen this question. I was like, I fucking love this question. So, like I said before, I can't fully see them as much as I would like to, because I know unconsciously I'm a little bit nervous. So my human, and this is a great thing to know if you guys are psychic mediums or you're wanting to learn more about this stuff, is that you get to have your human on board. Or actually, you know what? Anytime, any part of life, if you're advancing very quickly in your career, or you're becoming very open-minded and spiritual and inquisitive, etc., if your human isn't on board, then the potential of you actually growing as fast as you can is quite limited, purely because the human will actually unconsciously cock block things and unconsciously stop things from being seen or experienced or showed, because it doesn't feel safe yet. So when you said, what do they look like? I know I haven't seen the full caliber of what quote unquote spirits look like. It doesn't mean I'm less psychic. It doesn't mean I don't know what I'm doing. It doesn't mean anything like that. Like I said before, we have the clairs that I went through. And my clairvoyance, which is the clear seeing, isn't as strong as I would like it to be. So what I personally see, beautiful Corby, is that I can see outlines roughly, like a bit of a fuzzy line, okay? I can't really see their face. I can see features of them, but I can see them with my eyes open. They aren't there as per se, like they aren't there, but I know and I can sense that they're there. Like I can feel a male presence. I'll close down my eyes or keep my eyes open, and I can sense that they would have brown hair, blue eyes, very tall men, very short men, etc., etc. And then through the mediumship skills that I've learned and tuned into, I'm actually able to get more information because they can tune into me through like the sounds. Like I'll be in a psychic reading where I'm like, cool, I can actually hear this song. Does that song mean anything to you? They're like, oh my God, that's my dad, da 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 da. Okay. So with that being said, the psychic, being able to see is just one slither of being psychic in a nutshell. So what I see is like, yes, figures, outlines, normal people, but it's very quick and it's usually out the corner of my eyes. And I usually see like animals, but they're not like a seeing thing like a physical plant or a physical dress. It's more of a see-through, iridescent kind of way that I see it. And then I also see like colors as well, like see auras, and I can also see like shapes and things like that sometimes, depending on like what I'm tuning into. So in a nutshell, I personally feel like they are like people, but they're also not. I haven't been able to see, I think I've seen like a handful of spirits' faces, and that's usually my spirit guides. I can rarely see, well, not rarely, I can say 50% of the time I would see someone's faces if I was doing a psychic reading or whatever. I will usually be able to just tell what they're wearing or like what's important to them and learning more about that kind of thing. But as to do with TV, I feel like TV really like, I don't know, we could go down a fucking other rabbit hole. We could talk about, you know, the Matrix. We could talk about conspiracy theories. We could talk about so much right now in regards to the TV and what TV is TV is showing you to potentially make you feel scared of. Because I remember when I was younger, I was so scared of spirits. I was so scared of ghosts. I was so scared of paranormal activity purely because of what the TV showed me. So when I first met my spirit guides, they were like these beautiful, loving creatures, etc., etc., etc. I was like, whoa, why aren't you guys scaring me? They're like, no, that's just what they want you to think. And as in they like the TV, etc. Because when do you ever actually see spirits being positively portrayed on social not on social media, I would say more so on the TV specifically. In the past, I only remember them being like, there was this black shadow and it was really scary and, you know, paranormal activity, etc., etc., etc. So I feel like that's the only viewpoint that I have with the TV spirits. I personally haven't seen, like, not that there's positive or negative, though I haven't seen like them being positively portrayed in the public eye in that way. So that's all I would say. That's all I would say in a nutshell, is I would tune into what you feel comfortable to receive. Know that everyone also experiences and interprets things differently, because like we are all an encyclopedia. We're all encyclopedias. We all define things differently. We all experience things differently. And I teach the beautiful people who are part of the psychic development program about the psychic library. And what that specifically means is, you know, my guides will show me a crow in a reading. It doesn't mean that person has anything to do with significance of a crow. It could be, but more likely it's actually to do with that their spirit guides are trying to connect with them, because I view my spirit guides as crows. So rather than always just seeing things, I see other things that also allows me to interpret what this specific person is going through or what's coming through for them or what they're wanting to learn more about. Not always specifically outlined in spirits. Hope that makes sense, Corby. Okay. Can I turn it off? I can definitely turn it down. I can, when I go into like shopping centers and stuff, I always put like a beautiful bubble and some like reflective mirrors. It depends what you believe. Like if you want to turn it off, then you will. If you don't want to turn it off, then you won't. You can definitely, I turn it down. And it's not like I have spirits constantly talking to me. I have very strict boundaries. So when I'm in sessions, for example, with clients and things, I will be like, cool, spirits that are here for the highest good and love us unconditionally are only like, I only call in spirits that are here for the highest good and love us unconditionally and that are here for our highest timeline. That's all I do with spirits. So I don't really need to turn it off purely because it's always a really beautiful experience. Although when I do go out into public, I do just like to bubble up. If you believe in protection, you believe in protection. If you don't, you don't. Like I said, this is just my personal experience and it's something that you could potentially want to learn more about. So that's what I'm telling you. I don't turn it off. I don't believe you can turn it off. I definitely think you can not think about it. You know, sometimes there's days where I'm just so in my human and I forget to talk to my spirit guides all the time. And then I don't do this, et cetera, because we're still here having this human experience. And I know spirit really respects it. Well, the way that I view spirit really respects that. And they only come through when I either ask for, or the message needs to be conveyed, or the download needs to be actioned, or there's something that I'm potentially not picking up with my intuition. That's when spirits will come through, and that's when things will actually be like, hey, Claudia, do this. And I'm like, well, thank you. I also see our spirit guides as us as well. So if you are new to this game, I believe that they're spirit guides, but I believe that our spirit guides also is us in different formats, expressing ourselves through different costumes, through different things. I believe that we are the oracle of life. I believe that we have all the answers, and our spirit guides are just here to help us with that. I also believe that our spirit guides are here for a reason, a season, a lifetime, so they don't always hang around. So that is a little bit of a side tangent. And Colby also said, do you ever talk to them when you're bored? Fucking all the time. Guys, I talk to my spirit guides, it's spirits, all the time. If you ever see me out in public, I would say 9 times out of 10, I'm either thinking about spirit guides or talking to my spirit guides or tuning into my own intuition or tuning into vibrations of the manifestation that I'm desiring to experience, etc. Like, I'm always tuning into the spiritual realm because it's so in who I am. Like, that is all I be, literally, in a nutshell. So yes, I always talk to them, specifically when I'm bored as well. I'm like, well, I'm never really bored, but if I have spaciousness in my day where I'm like, you know, driving to the gym or whatever, I'll just be like, hey guys, how you doing? Like, what's going on? What do you want me to do today? Et cetera, et cetera. I always utilize that. And I also trust my own intuition when I'm meant to do things for myself. So that is that in a nutshell. So this concludes the first round, the first part 1 of Ask the Psychic. Ask the Psychic. I think that's what I called it. I can't remember. Ask the Psychic. See, when I channel, also something, guys, if you want to learn about channeling, what that means is when I usually channel, I fucking forget half the things that I say because I'm just constantly like ching, 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 like download, don't talk. So sometimes I forget. So thank you for coming to part 1 of Asking the Psychic. Ask the Psychic Medium. I will join you for part 2 next week. If I did not get to your questions, I will get to them in their part 2. I will speak to you very soon. I hope you have the most beautiful day. Thank you all for writing in. And if there are any questions that you would have, please let me know on Instagram, DM me. There's also a Google form link that you can fill out at the bottom so we can have actual podcast episodes about it. So let me know. I would love to be able to do specific episodes with things that you are actually going through right now, because this is how I can be service to you and like expand and play more. So yeah, perfect. Enjoy. Have the most beautiful day. Thank you for being here. Thank you for people that wrote in, and I'll speak to you in part 2. Woo!